If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Draymond Green just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. Draymond Green, LeBron James, partied together yet again with a Warriors fan legend, and the NBA world can't stop talking about it. Every time these two stars are spotted together, especially during the off-season or away from the hardwood, it sends shockwaves across the basketball community. Because in an era where rivalries, competitiveness, and even fan loyalty run deep, the idea of two megastars, one from the Golden State Warriors, the other from the Los Angeles Lakers, linking up outside the court is both fascinating and controversial. And this time, it wasn't just Draymond and LeBron sharing laughs, drinks, and good vibes. There was also the presence of a Warriors fan legend, a figure that has long been celebrated in the Bay Area, which made the whole situation even more special and more eyebrow-raising. So, what's really going on here? Why are LeBron and Draymond becoming the NBA's most unlikely yet powerful friendship? And how does the presence of a Warriors fan legend elevate this whole scenario into something bigger than just a party? The first thing we need to talk about is history. Because if you rewind back just a few years, the very idea of Draymond Green and LeBron James hanging out, let alone partying together, would have been considered blasphemy by die-hard NBA fans. These two were not only rivals, they were enemies in some of the most heated NBA Finals battles of all time. Warriors fans remember 2016 like it was yesterday. LeBron's Cavaliers coming back from a 3-1 deficit against the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. The suspension of Draymond Green in that series played a huge role in Cleveland's comeback. And the infamous incident, where LeBron and Draymond clashed on the court, words were exchanged, tempers flared, and it looked like these two would never see eye to eye. Yet here we are, years later, seeing them celebrate life together, as though none of those final scars ever existed. But that's the fascinating thing about the NBA. Rivalries don't always last forever. Time has a funny way of turning enemies into allies. And for Draymond and LeBron, it's more than just forgiveness, it's respect. Over the years, Draymond has openly admitted that he looks up to LeBron, not just as a player but as a businessman and a leader. He's gone on record multiple times saying LeBron is someone he studies, someone who's paved the way for athletes to think beyond the court. And LeBron, in return, has shown admiration for Draymond's fire, his defensive genius, and his leadership within the Warriors dynasty. So when you put all of that in context, this party moment doesn't feel random. It feels like a continuation of a friendship that's been growing quietly behind the scenes. Now let's talk about the setting. Because this wasn't just a private dinner. This was a full-on party, filled with celebrities, NBA personalities, and yes, the Warriors fan legend that had people buzzing online. Videos and photos from the event quickly made their way to social media, showing Draymond Green and LeBron James vibing together, laughing, and even dancing with the crowd. And who was right there with them? The fan legend that has become a staple of the Warriors community. Someone who represents the undying passion of Dub Nation. This wasn't just about two NBA stars connecting, it was about blending cultures, blending fandoms, and breaking down the walls that separate players from their biggest supporters. The presence of this Warriors fan legend symbolized something bigger. It showed that basketball is not just about what happens on the hardwood. It's about relationships, culture, and the shared love of the game that unites players and fans alike. Of course, not everyone was happy about it. The moment clips of Draymond and LeBron hit the internet, fans immediately started debating. Lakers fans felt proud, claiming that LeBron has always been a unifier, someone who commands respect from even his fiercest rivals. Warriors fans, on the other hand, were split down the middle. Some saw it as a beautiful moment of friendship, a sign that the NBA's biggest stars can put aside competition to celebrate life. But others weren't so forgiving. They called Draymond out, questioning his loyalty. After all, how can a Warriors player be so close to the face of the Lakers, a franchise that has long been one of Golden State's rivals? The debates raged online, with Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok flooded by opinions. And that's the power of moments like this. It's not just about two stars partying, it's about what that moment represents in the bigger picture of NBA culture. And let's not ignore the timing. Because right now, the NBA is in a transitional phase. The Warriors dynasty is aging, with questions about how much longer Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green can keep their championship window open. The Lakers are in a similar boat, with LeBron still defying age but also recognizing that his career doesn't have too many years left. So when you see two veterans like Draymond and LeBron linking up, it feels almost symbolic. It's like they're celebrating the journey, appreciating the ride they've been on, and maybe even preparing for what comes next. They know the NBA is changing. Younger stars like Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards, and Victor Wembanyama are rising. But for now, it's still their league, and they're enjoying every moment together. Let's zoom in on the Warriors fan legend who was at the center of attention that night. Because this isn't just a random fan we're talking about. This is someone who has been celebrated within the Bay Area, someone who represents the heartbeat of Dub Nation. To see that person standing alongside LeBron James was surreal. For years, Warriors fans have seen LeBron as the ultimate villain. But here he was, not as an enemy, but as a guest of honor, partying shoulder to shoulder with their own hero. That's what made this night different. It wasn't about rivalry, it wasn't about tension. It was about unity, about breaking down the walls that sports rivalries often build up. Social media reactions were priceless. Some fans joked that Draymond was already recruiting LeBron to join the Warriors. After all, Draymond has a history of playing recruiter. Remember when he reportedly called Kevin Durant after that 2016 Finals loss? That move changed the course of NBA history. So the idea of him whispering in LeBron's ear during the party didn't feel too far-fetched to some fans. Others laughed about how LeBron always seems to find himself in every circle, whether it's business, music, or sports. He's everywhere. And then there were those who simply celebrated the moment, saying this is what the NBA should be about: brotherhood, respect, and community. But beyond the memes and the hot takes, this moment speaks volumes about where the NBA is today. The league has become more than just basketball. It's entertainment, it's culture, it's lifestyle. Players aren't just athletes, they're icons. And when icons like Draymond Green and LeBron James come together, it becomes a headline, a trending topic, a viral story that keeps fans talking for days. The presence of a Warriors fan legend only amplified it, reminding everyone that fans are just as important to the fabric of the NBA as the players themselves. What's even more fascinating is how Draymond and LeBron continue to prove doubters wrong about their friendship. Every time people assume their bond is just surface level, another story or another moment like this surfaces, showing that it's deeper than basketball. Draymond has even joined LeBron on his show, The Shop, where they've had candid conversations about life, sports, and the struggles of being in the spotlight. That's not something you'd do with just anyone. That's something you'd do with someone you trust, someone you respect. And this party was just another layer to that growing brotherhood. As the night went on, more clips emerged of LeBron laughing with fans, Draymond taking the mic and hyping up the crowd, and the Warriors fan legend soaking in every moment. It felt like a celebration of not just friendship, but of the culture that basketball has built. A culture where players can be rivals on the court but family off of it. A culture where fans and stars can stand side by side and celebrate the game they love. That's what made this moment unforgettable. Now here's the question, what does this mean moving forward? Is this just another off-season story that fades away after a week? Or is it a glimpse into something bigger? Could Draymond and LeBron's friendship actually lead to future collaborations, whether in business, media, or even basketball? Remember, the NBA has taught us to never say never. Who would have thought Kevin Durant would join the Warriors? Who would have predicted LeBron joining forces with Anthony Davis in Los Angeles? Anything can happen. And while it may sound crazy now, imagine the headlines if LeBron and Draymond ever ended up on the same team. Imagine the chaos that would cause. Warriors fans might be torn, Lakers fans might be furious, but the NBA world would explode. And moments like this party only fuel those kinds of wild speculations. But even if that never happens, what we're seeing here is still powerful. It's a reminder that sports rivalries, no matter how intense, don't define people forever. LeBron and Draymond went from enemies in the finals to brothers off the court. They went from exchanging insults in the heat of battle to exchanging laughs at a party. And that evolution tells us something about growth, about maturity, and about how respect can turn any rivalry into something deeper. By the time the night ended, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a party. This was a statement. A statement that the NBA is about more than just wins and losses. It's about people, it's about relationships, it's about community. Draymond Green, LeBron James, and a Warriors fan legend reminded us of that. And whether you loved it, hated it, or felt conflicted about it, you couldn't look away. Because in today's NBA, moments like these matter just as much as anything that happens on the court. And as long as stars like Draymond and LeBron continue to blur the lines between rivalry and brotherhood, the stories will keep coming, and the fans will keep watching.